Hey everyone, and welcome to the 81st episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwold, and today I am here with Michael.
Hey.
Nick.
Yo.
And Shayne.
It's always a beautiful day to be alive.
I thought you were going to say in a neighborhood. Speaking of neighborhoods, if you want to be in our neighborhood, you can follow us on Instagram at WAITSB Podcast.
Good.
Make sure you do that because then you can participate in the polls and questions and send us messages. It's really fun. Also, you can listen to this podcast on all sorts of different platforms. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Whoa. So many options.
Wow.
You have no excuse other than the fact that you don't support us. It's fine. You can also leave us a review on the iTunes app by searching We're All in the Same Boat. Scroll all the way to the bottom and hit the 5 stars. That would be awesome. It would show us that you're a great fan, and it would make all of us very happy. Gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Who wants to sell a house? Nick does.
Nick Conde does. Mother effer.
Bye. It's in Colorado.
Yeah, we were looking at this before the actual
house is
podcast
fantastic.
started.
Okay, listen. Don't talk up
And
my house.
the
That's really
HDR.
good, but you really should. You really should
The
talk about it.
HDR on these photos
The
Photos are
quality,
amazing.
is
the
awesome.
crispness.
How much for the
of
camera you
colors.
used?
She used a Nikon D8 D700, I believe, or D600. I don't know which model exactly, but
Well, what good
Listen.
are you if you don't even know?
I'm trying to remember.
Damn
Wait. Hold on, let me think about it. Let me think.
This
Nikon
house is so well themed.
D600.
Yeah, I know. I like that your
That's what I said.
computer has the red theme going on.
Design is great.
There's
The
white,
kitchen
red, and
is-
blue. Like hot, like I don't know,
The
hot
kitchen
red.
is fantastic. I would be in that
Here's-
kitchen.
The kitchen
thing.
My entire
is
life.
insane looking.
Here's the
Even
thing
bought
about
a
my
blue
kitchen.
yoga
It's the
ball
best.
to
It's the
match.
best part. Yeah, it's the best part of the house for sure.
Clearly.
I didn't design it. My
Okay.
ex-wife did.
I
And
think we'd have a wife so I got a house that matches. I can't
and my wife basically decorated the crap out of this house. Like everything you see, my wife
dope.
or my ex-wife, excuse me. But
Yeah.
yeah, she basically killed it.
Shout out to
And-
her.
Yeah, shout out to her for sure, dude.
It looks
If you're looking
good.
for a new wife, Nick just got rid of his.
Oh my god!
Wow. That just took a turn.
If you're looking
I'm
for
glad
a
Nick
new
laughed.
wife, you can find her online at
That just
findwives.com.
took a turn.
I'm glad Nick laughed because I don't know if you could hear my voice. Even I was unsure if I should be saying that.
Oh, that's
He
great.
was like
I love
shrinking as he said. He's like, and you can like, find.
Hey, but it's true. She's
Here's
great
the
at
thing.
decorating.
Okay, here's a crazy story that happened with this house. We got an offer within the first 8 hours of it being on the market,
Wow.
and they backed out because they're not
Oh.
sure. They're not sure they want to friggin' buy a house. They were gonna buy it fully in cash for that listing price, that
Cash?
asking price. Cash.
Whoa! I mean, how much
Wait.
this house do you have? If you don't mind, if that's not too personal, like
I have like
Payment-wise.
over like 35-40% of it, so something
Okay.
like that.
Ooh, wow.
But yeah, so I get paid.
How could they go into
yeah,
it?
no, they put the offer out saying like, hey, we're gonna buy this house, and then the next day they were like, nah, we got cold feet, we don't want to buy this house. Sorry,
But
later.
did they see the house? How do you
Yeah.
say no?
They said no because they've never bought a house before, and they were nervous about it.
were they?
so-
It was a couple.
Well, obviously, if they were gonna.
Yeah,
drop-
it was old
Wait a
people.
minute, wait a
Yeah.
minute,
Was
wait a
it?
minute.
Wait,
Were
old
you
people.
selling it for the current price? Wait. I have a question. I have an actual like buyer's question.
Go for it, brah.
Were you selling it for the current price you're selling it now when those
Yes.
people wanted to buy it? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm confused on how do you go about buying your first house and then you're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy this house for this price with the cash because I'm just walking around like a first time buyer with this cash for a house. No,
All right.
I
Did
got
these
cold feet.
people
Well,
look like
obviously,
drug dealers?
Because you
I don't
are
know,
insane.
dude. Apparently, according to the real estate agent that they use, they've looked at over 100 houses. This was the first house they were gonna pull the trigger on,
What?
and they backed out because
100 houses.
if you're
Sorry,
that
yeah,
indecisive on buying a house,
know.
what other
That's
things
how I
are they
feel.
that
Yeah.
indecisive about? Like when they go out to eat, it takes them all day.
Yeah.
they go to Olive Garden.
They
Should
get
we
to
get
the
the breadsticks
menu
or should we
and
not
then
get
they're
the
like, I don't
breadsticks?
know what to order. And
Being indecisive on a house is different than being indecisive on anything else.
100
Whatever,
houses.
Mike.
gotta live
Don't
in it
give them
forever.
credit.
Spend
They would make a
hundreds of
great-
dollars.
They're not
would
here to
make a great
defend
movie.
themselves. Don't defend them, Mike. We can.
Dude, I don't want to buy a house at all because then I have to live there. That's a lot of.
Someone needs to make,
And that's the
someone needs
idea.
to make a movie out of those people.
He goes, then I have
that's
to
like a
live
really
there.
good
Nick goes,
story.
that's the idea. It's a house.
That's the idea.
Yeah, I don't want
You're
that.
gonna live there.
I don't wanna
You're gonna
have-
live there forever, and you're
I
gonna
hate
like
being
it.
forced to do anything. Like I hate being forced to live somewhere by myself. Like I forced myself to live here. I bought this. You know.
So you're like,
Wait, you don't wanna
you
buy
in the
a
past
house?
is like, you forced me to do this.
Yeah. I don't want past me to force future me where to live.
You don't want Pat.
That doesn't make any sense.
Past
does.
Michael.
Luke understands
Or,
me.
damn it, past Michael.
I think you'll be
No,
fine,
Luke doesn't
Mike.
understand you. Luke is just supporting
No,
you.
I get it, because it's like past Luke. Sometimes I love that guy. Sometimes I hate that guy. You know?
I mostly hate past or future Luke. I pretty much hate all of it. So I like
It's like, I just hate
Doesn't
Luke.
it's fine.
doesn't really change my how I feel about Luke. So.
Selling the process of
If you want to buy my house,
That
if you want to buy
doesn't
my
make any
house,
sense, but yes, buy Nick's house.
drive.
wait, you're actually
You
putting
now
the
know where I
address out
live.
there?
You now know where
Are
I
you
live.
sure you want me to do? You want me to
He's
cut that out?
desperate. No, he's desperate.
I mean, he's actually trying to sell it.
Yeah,
so.
but
I actually am
But
trying to sell
now
it.
you just doxed yourself.
Now you live
Do
there.
you want me to cut that out?
Oh, I guess I did dox myself. Yeah, let's cut that out. Hold on. Clap, clap.
No, I'm cutting it out. I'm leaving this part in, but I think it's funny that you just
you wanna
threw
buy-
your address out there. Send
If
a
you wanna buy
message
my-
to
if
us
you wanna buy
on
my house-
Instagram. Wait, no, don't do that.
DM me on Instagram or the podcast, and I will
because
talk
now
to
we're gonna
you.
get so many fake
Excuse me,
inquiries.
hello?
Yes.
Just tell them to where the posting is. Just say, go to
Yeah, you're
my
genius.
Zillow post or whatever.
Just
it is.
message Nick
Tell them that.
on Instagram.
I guess.
Don't
I
message
guess I'm
Nick.
still
No one wants to
technically.
message Nick. If people are
I'm
looking
still
for a
technically
house,
doxing
they
myself
wanna
no matter
go on
what.
the website. They don't want to message Nick.
What?
I'm gonna get swatted. Someone's
No
gonna
one
swat
is
me.
sliding into Nick's DMs to buy a
Swatted?
house.
I'm gonna get swatted. Wait, do you not know what swatted
That is
means?
the
Wait,
worst
hold up.
way
Squatted or
to
Hold
buy a
swatted?
house.
Hold up, Mike. Do you know what swatting? What it means to get swatted?
Like not squatting in your house, but swatting. you.
Swatted. SWATT.
Who wants to explain it?
Shane,
Like
do you know what it
people
means?
gonna run in to kill you, like SWAT team.
Hold up, just hold up. You don't know. Shane, do you know what swatting is? Or to get swatted?
Are you asking like swatted as in like a fly or swatted
All right,
like
nobody
as in
knows.
the
All right, Nick, do you
sexual-
want to explain it to
Let me
him?
explain it. Yeah. So basically, there's this trend happening on Twitch where a bunch of live streamers were accidentally somehow, because they're streaming straight from their, they're basically their computer, and sometimes they can put out personal information by accident. When you're streaming live, things like that. So every now and then, someone puts out their address, and someone can find your address, and they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna call in and say that you are." It's so bad.
You
And then
laughing
say
at
that
this?
you are like. It's
It
so
is
bad.
horrifying. It is horrifyingly bad.
I still don't know what
like-
it is. Tell me.
It's like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna put your address and say, hey, you're dealing drugs at this place. Hey, you have a assault rifle at this place. Hey, you are kidnapping someone at this place. Hey, there was a murder that happened at this place, and the SWAT team must come under these certain circumstances.
Right. So they basically,
depending on what
like,
crime.
they'll call and say, "Hey, at 1234 address where Nick is streaming, he threatened that he has a bomb. He's going to blow up the neighborhood." So they call 911, and then
And-
all of a sudden, on
Yep.
the live stream video, the SWAT team
common
will
on
just like
Twitch. Very common.
bust through the front door and just take the guy away while the live stream is going. So it's like this.
Wait,
Yep.
wait. I have a question.
Go on. Go
Just for
ahead.
clarification's sake. So these people are streaming, and they
It happens
the-
a lot on streaming.
they call the
basically.
cops.
No,
Or
somebody
is it-
watching
they
the
call
stream.
cops, or someone watching the stream calls the
Yeah.
cops and says this person has a bomb or
Right.
something, and then the SWAT team shows up
On the live stream.
and takes
Yep.
them away. So is
Yeah.
it
It
is it-
arrests them basically
is it
because
people-
they have a hunch that there's might be something
so
bad
is it
happening
people watching them are just doing it because they want to do it because they think it's funny, or is it like a whole like setup thing and the whole live stream is like
No,
the people
it's
who
the.
are
So it'd be
getting
like if
taken away?
Nick was live streaming
they-
to 1,000 people, and then
I'm
one person.
asking, does the person live streaming know this is happening, or is
No,
that
so like
actually
Nick
just
wouldn't.
getting-
It's all
okay.
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not like a
What
fun
the heck?
YouTube
Why would
prank.
you do
It's
Because
like a terrible
horrible.
YouTube prank.
It's a.
Why would
Brent,
you do
no,
that?
if you just
because
say
you feel like being
pranked,
something horrible.
everybody laughs and it's fine.
pranks.
That would like deter me from wanting to stream. Like that would make me like not want to stream anymore. Like
It's
why
part
would
of the risk. A lot of people get live streaming in general has a lot of crazy stuff like that happens.
Is this starting to become public knowledge? So like
Public knowledge, as in
the FBI and stuff.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, the
FBI gonna
cops.
start thinking like, okay, this is not.
No,
real.
but they can't do that within those
Yeah, because
first hours.
especially
They still have
think
to
about this.
investigate.
Think about this. Okay, you're a police officer. Hold on.
What I'm saying.
You're a police officer,
Yeah.
or you're the FBI, and you get a phone call saying someone threatened that they have a bomb in a house and they're going to blow up the neighborhood. And then you go, oh, wait,
you have to
I've
take it
seen this
seriously.
YouTube video where people get swatted. It's nothing, ignore it. Then the neighborhood gets blown up. Oops.
Well, no, yeah, I know you have to take it
Right.
seriously, but what I'm saying is, if it happens enough times where someone's calling in about a stream, like that would be like, okay, we need to
No, I think they have to. I think they
investigate
have to
this.
go.
We need to do something about that problem.
What are you going
Right.
to
Well,
do?
hopefully they do
People
that
can do that for the
also.
rest of the. Because then that can happen for the rest of our days, and it's like that's the biggest.
For the rest of our days.
You can get everyone arrested by sitting on your couch watching a stream. 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
2019 sucks.
Yep.
It's a pretty common trend.
Crazy.
You don't see it nearly as much because a lot of Twitch streamers and a lot of streamers in general don't post
You
their
don't see
information
it
out there like
because
that.
they get arrested and taken
They
away.
all die.
Yeah, but I think
what you
someone
don't
They're running out of
But I think
live
someone
streamers.
actually
They're all
did-
going away.
someone actually did get murdered when that happened.
Oh,
I think
no.
the dude did have his headphones on. He took his headphones off, and in the process of that action, someone was trigger happy and shot the guy.
Wait,
So-
how do they get the person's address?
Accident. Like he could have accidentally posted it. He was checking his PayPal. He could have mentioned it.
They
while
might
talking
have
to a
had
friend.
his full name.
Someone could
or
have
like
looked
they
up.
got a
Someone could have seen something in the
If you have
background. Yeah, it
somebody's,
could be any number of things.
license plate
That means
number.
people are sitting there waiting for that to happen. That's crazy.
Shayne, I bet I could get your address right now. Actually, what's your last
Stop.
name?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand that. No, I understand that stuff's not the most difficult thing to find, but
And this is where we had to stop the podcast for a second. So, hello, listener. We had an emergency come up. Everything's fine. So we stopped. It's the first time this has ever happened to us. And we are coming back 1 week later to finish this episode. You probably wouldn't have even noticed, honestly. But I just figured I'd let you know because I'm so honest. Anyway, thanks for being a good listener. Let's resume. Everybody ready? Here we go. I don't know how to start. Okay.
Hi,
You can
everyone.
just-
Welcome to the 81st and a half podcast of We're All in the Same Boat.
how you were starting.
Guys, we're back.
Yeah, this is like a second part, which is weird.
It is kind of weird.
It's the second part to a first part that no one heard.
Did you guys
Yes.
hear that? My mic
No,
fell
they-
apart.
They heard it.
What?
It's fine.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
I mean, they will have heard it, but they
This
haven't.
is 1 week later from what you just previously heard.
I'm sick.
Nick is sick. The Oscars have happened. And
changed in our
Nick,
lives since then?
it's like Nick literally brought up something he had to do, and he has news.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Well, they
the
heard
house
it
is on the
already.
market, but JK, it just sold. So
So good luck. None of you can buy the house now.
So
Sorry.
was it those people who like randomly asked to buy it and
Yeah,
then said
did
no?
they come back?
no, it was a different.
They
It was a
keep
different couple.
crawling. What if they were like, what if they were listening to the podcast and they were like, hey, we're not indecisive. They came back and bought the house.
Right.
That would have been amazing.
That'd been
but
hilarious.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe.
You
What a
don't.
great life story.
I love it because Nick literally knows because he sold the house.
But he doesn't know. He was.
I actually ran
Actually
into that
does.
family. I ran into that family by accident. So like, I forgot my wallet.
Well, yes, I would hope you didn't run into them on purpose, Nick.
No, like I forgot my wallet, so I came back to the house while they were like showing it, and I like was like, "Hey, nice to meet you all. I have to go get my wallet. Sorry, it's in the
It's
room
like-
that it's in the room that you're in right now. This is awkward."
You're like,
That's
hey,
awesome.
I have to get that thing that your money will go into if you buy my house.
yeah, it's like I got to get that real estate wallet. Sorry, hint, hint, wink, wink.
If you pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars, it will all be going in the thing that I have to grab. So, welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I appreciate you guys rolling with the punches last time. It's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Every podcast that we have done, no matter what problem has happened, we have salvaged it and released an episode. So that was the first one that we had to kind of stop in the middle and resume.
Can we blame
That's
Luke?
okay.
Can we just blame Luke?
It kind of is my fault in a way.
It really
It's always
is.
Luke's fault.
All right,
Unless it's Michael's fault.
Did we?
as
or
long
are
as
we
we're
gonna
all in
explain?
agreement.
Oh, that's right. This is the first time it was my fault. Ever. It's always been someone else's fault.
It's usually my fault.
Yes.
It's
I'm like-
95% of the time Michael's fault.
It really is. I can't even.
Because
like,
you're a
defend
musician.
Myself.
Oh, wait.
I'm a musician, and
I
I'm
just
constantly
realized we have
ruining my own
two-
recordings.
We have 2 musicians. Yeah, I know. You'd think that of all the people that know how to record it,
I know.
Drummers aren't
We
musicians.
usually got somebody
Get out
else
of
pushing
here.
buttons for me.
You
I'm
wanna
like,
talk
hey, do the
about
thing.
you?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Michael, Nick, you should be the one that's late because you're the drummer, and nobody likes drummers.
Nah, man. I'm
I'm
always
always-
on time.
I'm always late. I'm the definition of an artist. I'm
Michael, what do you
Drummers-
think about drummers?
Drummers, in my experience, are never on time. And they always have a bunch of crap to carry. And I'm always like, I don't help them. So I'm like, well, it's your fault you decided to learn drums.
Wow, Michael.
I make
way
you
to
do
be a
that.
Team player. Way to help out the band.
I got my own stuff to carry, dude. I got a guitar.
You know what, Michael?
my
Hey,
God.
he's like, I got one suitcase to carry.
Michael
Come
is the
on.
reason I don't like guitarists. You're seeing it. You're seeing it here, folks.
This is why bands break up because they don't
is-
help each other out.
Because
Yeah.
drummers bring all this crap with them and they expect us all to help them with it. It's like, no, this is your
Yeah,
stuff.
because you're like friends, right? You play
Oh,
music
it's like-
together.
It's
Maybe
like,
help me
"What-
out,
what's
man,
up
so I
with
can play the
drummers?
music."
Why did drummers always have to bring all this stuff with them? And
yeah.
that's because that's what the drums are. They're just a bunch of shapes. You
Well,
basically
that's
just
not
bring a
Michael.
bunch of containers and shapes that make different noises.
Next time
That's a
Michael
drum
has a
set.
show, the drummer's not gonna show up with anything, and he's gonna be like, "You didn't help me, so."
Michael,
What
I'm
am I supposed to do?
I'm
I'm coming
so
at it.
disappointed in you. I'm so
too,
disappointed in
actually.
you. Yeah.
Wait, I told you guys
To be
this the other
completely
day.
honest,
Actually,
I'm really like that. You don't help him. I'm actually really like, I'm sad.
I'm judging Michael.
So,
yeah.
I'm not judging
someone.
you,
I
but
heard
I'm
someone
just
say
sad.
this. I heard someone say this the other day. You know how people say,
Uh-oh.
"I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed." They
Disappointed.
said, "They go, no, don't worry, I'm not disappointed. I'm just angry."
That's pretty much where I am. Yeah.
It'd be so
rather
funny
hear
to,
that.
like to make it reassuring. Like, no, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not disappointed. I'm just.
I am upset at you. Just so you know.
I feel like Michael, you're. I'm not even gonna say it. Don't worry about
Why
it.
would
It's
we
okay.
hang
Hey,
up on
you
me
already
now?
started the sentence. You have to.
Yeah,
say
what
it.
was that? What were you gonna say?
Michael, you're one of those artists that is gonna have a band, and they're all gonna hate you, and then you're gonna have an awkward acoustic show later on.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, you're gonna have an awkward acoustic
through the
show
tour.
later on where your band was supposed to go on, and then you're gonna cry on stage, and people are gonna throw tomatoes at you. I see it in the near
Michael's
future.
gonna have a failing solo career. I can't wait.
Speaking
People still
of
carry tomatoes?
failures,
It's so detailed.
speaking of failures, which Girl Scout cookie is the best?
Samoas, and if you say anything else, get off the podcast.
That's right.
Amen,
Shayne,
mother.
number three.
Dude,
What?
Shayne,
Michael,
Shayne,
mint
Luke,
thins?
I am
Thin
gonna.
mints, dude.
Oh gosh, you guys are about to get
Which
some good
one?
lovin'.
Hold on. All three of us are Samoa.
Stop me,
Yes,
Michael.
though. Yo, Thin Mints are pretty
Get off the
banging.
podcast, Michael.
Michael. Literally, no one likes you right now.
This is why no one likes guitarists.
Wait,
Because
Michael,
they don't like Samoas. Which
are
one's
you
your favorite?
serious?
Which
You
one's
don't
your
like
favorite?
Hold on,
Samoas.
wait, I don't. Wait, hold on.
Answer.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
We were jacking
Samoa's
him.
are the peanut butter and chocolate ones, right? Or are they the coconutty ones?
Michael, why don't you like Samoas?
Well, first of all, I never said I didn't. I never said I
Michael.
didn't like Samoas. I
But
said I
you
like.
didn't- you
I just
kinda-
like Thin
You
Mints.
didn't
Which is your-
immediately come
Why
to
do people
Samoas.
like
no,
Thin
no.
Mints?
It's
Those
that's
are like Walmart
they're the worst
cookies.
ones.
Wait, what
Here's
did
the
you say?
thing.
Thin
Here's the thing.
Mints.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thin
no,
Mints are
okay,
the worst
wait,
ones.
no,
No, they're the worst ones. You're wrong.
Yes.
It's
How are they
fine.
the
You're
worst
wrong.
ones?
Don't
Wait.
you change your answer, Shane.
Wait, wait,
They're not the worst ones.
I have a question.
Yes,
I
they
have a question.
are.
I have a
What?
serious
You're the worst
question.
one.
All right, what's the
All
serious?
right, go,
question?
Shane.
Did we all just Luke? Did you say Thin Mints are the worst?
No, I just don't understand how
like,
that can be someone's
no, no.
favorite.
Oh, I think they're the worst
I
ones.
was-
No, here's the
Wow.
thing. Hold up. I might have literally said that they're the worst, but what I mean is, I can't believe that would be someone's favorite Girl Scout cookie because it's the most generic type of cookie.
By the way,
You
did
can
you know?
buy those at Walmart.
Did you guys know? Did you guys know you could buy Samoas on Amazon? Just a heads up, if you ever get
What?
the munchies. They
You
are
buy
on Amazon.
Samoas.
But no, what I was
That's-
gonna say is because we all think that Thin Mints is the worst, and we all think Samoa's is the best. So it's funny because clearly Samoa's are superior.
I don't know
Samoas are not bad.
who would argue with that.
I can't believe you don't like
someone made Mike.
Thin Mints.
Mike doesn't even help his drummer,
Thin
so who
Mints?
cares?
Yeah, Michael, I'm learning a lot about you today, and
Maybe you guys are wrong. You think about that?
and I'm starting to really
No,
think about
because I'm not.
life.
I can safely. I'm not sure about most things, but I am sure that Samoas are better
I don't
and
know
superior.
everything. I'm not a
than,
smart man.
Than most Girl Scout cookies. Any Girl Scout cookie out there, doesn't matter. Samoas will always be superior. They could create the greatest
No, dude.
thing that everyone
Okay,
thinks
like-
is the best thing
first
since
of all,
sliced
I
bread.
think
Nope, Samoas are
100%.
superior.
I think up there with Thin Mints are like Tagalongs, the peanut butter and chocolate ones. Those are super good.
I don't even know what any other cookies are called besides
Anything with peanut butter in it is my
nothing else
favorite.
Matters.
But Samoas are like they have like these coconut flakes on them. I don't like. Who likes coconut?
But it's
I
so
hate coconut,
perfect.
but on Samoa's, it's amazing.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I get when people say I don't like coconut, or even I don't like peanut butter, or whatever, and so they're like, I won't like it because I don't like something, like one little flavor. Yes, it's true. A lot of times, if you don't like peanut butter, you won't like peanut butter cookies. But it's like a lot of things by themselves are not good. You know what's not good by itself? Potatoes. You know what's amazing? French fries. Like, as soon as you put salt on them and fry them, they're good. It's just like,
That's true.
just because it's got coconut on it, like the coconut adds so much.
Well, for me, as soon as you put
good.
it's like the opposite for me. It's like cookies are delicious. As
What?
you just put coconuts on it, it's not that good.
What?
Yeah, I'm about to order these on Amazon. F you, Mike.
How much
gonna
do they
intercept
cost on Amazon?
I think it's like $10.
Is that average price?
Oh, I have no idea. I just
I think it's like $8 probably to buy them from a Girl Scout.
They're right here. 2 boxes for $20.
Is it Girl Scout season right now?
I think
How's
so.
that? Girl Scouts.
Speaking
That sounds like you're hunting with a weapon.
Speaking of,
Like, is it duck
did you,
season? Like,
You're
okay.
hunting with a
guys-
wallet around Walmart parking lots.
did you guys see that viral video of that dude who bought $540 worth of Girl Scout cookies
No.
from that troop in South Carolina? So there was it's a crazy story.
That's
so,
Mr. Beast, isn't it?
So in Greenville,
something he would do.
Greenville, South
Greenville.
Carolina, there's a dude who bought like $540 worth of Girl Scout cookies so the girls could get out of the cold because it was really cold that day. Turns out the next day he gets busted for like conspiracy to manufacture and distribute heroin,
So-
cocaine, and fentanyl.
Is he moving heroin
And he
through the Girl
goes
Scouts?
viral.
Oh,
Was it
no.
was it through the cookies?
Oh, that'd be actually maybe I don't know. Maybe
No,
it
I'm
was
saying
good
he's like
deed
running
goes
like a drug
unpunished.
syndicate through Girl Scout cookies.
the Girl
wait, that
Scouts
was
said
today.
it
Coconut
was
on the
saddened
this
to
was-
learn.
Samoas is really
Oh,
crack
hold-
cocaine.
Hold up. This happened today?
Yeah. The Girl Scouts said it was saddened to learn of the unfortunate turn of events in South Carolina. It's not clear if the Girl Scouts will have to return the money they received since they got $540 worth of probably drug money.
The coconuts for
Really?
cocaine.
There's
No,
cocaine.
Mike.
There's
That's
probably
why you like
cocaine
it so
all
much.
over
You've
the
been
money.
eating
How
coconut.
dare you, Mike? How
you've been
dare you?
cocaine?
But why
Coconut?
did he buy?
Coincidence?
Why did he buy
I don't
all
think
of
so.
the Girl Scout cookies, and why didn't he just give them a donation? Why did he buy all of the cookies?
Because he wants cookies.
So they could get out of the cold. So he bought
I
all of
know.
their supply.
That's a win-win.
I know, but what I'm saying is, why didn't he just give them the money if he just wanted to get them out of the cold? Did he really want all of those cookies to eat?
It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, he bought the cookies so that they technically sold the cookies so they can go home.
Yeah. That's why I'm
Right.
buying cookies.
So
But
stop
if he
being
donates,
a
if he donates, they still have to sell the cookies.
It was like
I mean,
it went from like the sweetest
Yes,
story
and-
to like
no,
the
not
worst story in the span of 24
He
hours.
probably
How
just
about
sold a
start
bunch
giving
of
me the money and
drugs.
Let me eat the cookies.
He was probably sold a bunch of drugs and was doing a bunch of drugs. And
He was
then he
like,
saw the
"Dang,
Girl
I
Scout
want some
cookies. He's like,
cookies."
I want some munchies. And there you go. That's so funny.
It's
no
a nice
good
picture.
deed goes unpunished, as they say.
Speaking of things that are really random that just happened this week, an airplane flew into somebody's house.
What?
I think
What? Oh yeah, you told me this.
it was either in Norfolk or it was somewhere close to here, and so it flew into somebody's house. They were home when this happened. thankfully they didn't die or anything. But
That's good.
Yeah, the only person who died in this situation was the pilot. It was a pilot and a co-pilot, and the co-pilot lived. But my question is, what would you guys do if a plane flew into your house and you were at home as happening?
I'd probably poop my pants. Honestly, I'd be so scared.
I'd probably die.
Well. So the story that I'm reading, it was in a Florida home. Is that where it was?
Well, that one's in addition, because there's always someone crashing a plane in Florida. You know,
Florida man strikes again.
Damn it!
What?
That Florida man.
I
Dude,
feel like
seriously, like every other like stupid weird article you read is Florida man like is naked in his yard mowing the lawn, which I have read that one. It's really good.
Yeah,
I would honestly, well, I'd be so shocked by the initial impact and like the earthquake effect of that. Like if the plane wasn't already in the room that I was in and I had to go check on what the heck that noise was that just shook my entire house, it would take me a second, like a good
Imagine
half
how
hour.
loud that would be so loud.
A good half hour of me just like scared, shaking.
Yeah.
Like, what
Pooping.
do I do
would-
here? Pooping.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure I would have passed out. Like, I would have for
You
sure.
just said I would just be
Been
pooping,
unconscious.
just for
I
days.
would need someone to feed me because I would no fluids left.
Someone to feed me.
Please feed me. I can't move. I'm scared. Also, I keep pooping myself. Please
Now, here's
help.
the thing: like, if you think about how loud that would be, because
Yeah.
Oh my
like
gosh.
if I took a table, a whole wooden table, and just threw it into the wall as hard as I could, that would be really loud. But then you take something heavier than a car, and it just goes through a window.
Like 10 times
hits
heavier
a
than a
wall.
car. 20, 30, 40 times
Yeah.
heavier than a
Well,
car.
it was like a
That-
Cessna, right? Like a 2-people plane.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything.
I don't know plane names, sir.
yeah,
It
you're
wasn't
just
not
a
that one.
large. It wasn't
trying to
a
be all
large
fancy.
plane.
You know, you
Plane names.
all
It
the
wasn't
coconut
a-
from the
I love that
Samoas.
he goes,
clog your
it
brain.
wasn't. Hold up, he's like, it wasn't a large plane, like a 777 just slams into a
Yeah.
house.
I don't
It
think
just
anyone would
demolishes it.
survive that.
You're just working on your computer and it just takes off the top floor.
Oh no.
At least it didn't take off my dude. I would be. Here's the bad part. I'm
Don't
such
say
a
it.
selfish and shallow person. I would think to myself, "Huh? Did he take out my
Wait.
my rig?
No, I just realized
Like,
something.
did my rig survive?"
Of all the people here, the best person if one of us was going to have our house hit by a plane, the best person for it to happen to would be Nick, because you just sold your house.
Sorry.
Don't
Perfect
say
time.
that. No.
What?
It's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, Luke,
You
we talked
already
about
s-
getting his house.
Did you have
sold on the
paperwork?
podcast.
Wait.
Yeah,
Did you get the
freaking-
paperwork already?
It's freaking me out, man. Don't freak
We're
me
gonna
out.
sell
Did
this
you get the
house and we're
paper-
gonna destroy
Did
his
you
house.
get the paperwork?
Yes.
We have so much
So it's
power.
good. You don't own the house, right?
No, the official closing date is March 25th. I have to get all the documents ready this month.
So you technically don't own the house?
Technically, I still own the house
owns
until
the
March
house.
25th.
Oh,
No,
Better
you
watch out for
set him
planes,
up.
bud.
just
You
set him
obviously
up
have
and
never sold a house before, Luke. You don't know.
has. Clearly,
Obviously.
has never sold a house.
What a noob.
What a noob.
noob house seller.
Gosh. Don't scare me like that, guys. The other day,
I
I'm
didn't right now.
about to
Not
get
a part of that.
I'm about to get real serious with you guys. The other day,
Okay.
I was celebrating my house getting sold, and I got a little too intoxicated on certain substances that I can't speak of. But I got pretty intoxicated.
Samoas.
And
Samoas with cocaine.
and I ended up in my basement, and I woke up to the sound of footsteps.
Basement.
To the sound of
Hold on, let him
footsteps.
talk.
To the sound of footsteps
no.
upstairs. And it freaked me the heck out. And I didn't know what to do about it. Turns out it was my old roommate coming by to like pick up one thing, and he left. But there were footsteps in my freaking house, and it
You woke
scared
up in the basement. That's
I kind of knew I knew where I fell asleep, but when I woke up, it took me a sec to realize, like, oh yeah, I kind of got fucked up a little bit. So it's just like I had to remember that. But I woke up to the sound of footsteps. I'm like, well, I'm about to die. I just sold my house, but someone's about to rob it, and/or they're gonna kill me. That is just the cherry on top. Like,
You're like, well, I mean,
Sold my
not
house.
to
I didn't
say
die. Woo.
that that's a good way to die, but it's like you did your thing, you sold the house, you had a party and you died the next day, and it's like,
Well, I didn't
had a good
have. So
life.
my phone was dead. My phone was dead, and when I charged it, I finally got the text message that said, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm coming by to pick up something real quick. I'll leave in like a second. I just need
he
to come
walks
by."
in and you're just dead on the floor.
Dude, I was like so scared. I was like, holy shit. It was like one of those things where, you know how they tell you to play dead in front of a bear? I was like, maybe if I play dead in front of the robber, he won't kill me.
I've had those moments where
Oh man, I can't. This guy's house is already dead.
I've had something like that happen where something startles me, and the first thing I do is my instincts kick in, and I look for what could be a weapon. You know, I'm like,
Right.
You know, I'm like, what could I use? What could I use? Like, if I was in the middle of the floor, it's like, can I use my camera lens?
Yeah, you have
Can
to
I
figure
use
that out real quick,
like,
right?
If someone's
Yeah.
gonna attack me, I'm not gonna be that guy who wasn't prepared to fight back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Right.
like,
I have a sword in my
can I
room.
pick up my desk? Is
Ready.
my desk too heavy?
Right.
Is there something I
Yeah.
can use as a knife?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, well, I wasn't really in a good state mentally to figure out what I could have at my disposal.
In other words, hangover.
Shut up. I don't get hangovers. I was in a frat. So, but yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. It was the scariest. I would say that was one of the scariest moments of my life
What?
by far. Oh, dude, when you hear,
like, I mean,
when
Luke's
you
like,
hear-
wimp.
When you
Yeah.
hear footsteps upstairs and you're in the basement and you just woke up after being, on some Samoas, yeah, definitely pretty terrifying.
He's like, do I have the Samoas or did they get to them? Are they
Yeah.
upstairs or are they down here?
Where are my
the
cookies?
first thing I thought about was, oh crap, where are my Samoas?
So, Michael,
Yeah.
you randomly sent a message to the group chat talking about a certain app that apparently
yeah.
exists.
On the super dope app.
I want to
What's
hear
it
about
called?
it.
It's an
Tell
app
us
called
about
Tudder. It's like Tinder, but for mating cows.
For what?
You said that so fast.
Wait,
what?
what?
Okay, so I'll explain it slower. I talk too fast. So it's an
No,
app.
no, just
I
like
heard, I heard you, but I'm just.
you just
called Tudder.
the whole
I'm
audience
still
got
in
like
shock.
the whole audience just got punched with this new information that there is an app that exists for
Spell
mating
it.
cows.
Spell
It's
it. Spell it.
Tudder.
Yeah, you gotta, like, set that up,
Like
like,
udder
cool.
with the T. So basically, it's like Tinder for finding a cow to mate with your cow. So you open the app. I wish I could
Yeah,
show
this
you
is
guys like
not
a screen
for
grab.
people mating with cows.
I'm currently
correct.
downloading.
Cows.
Thank you, Luke,
currently
for that
downloading
distinction.
the app.
I forgot
I'm
to say
sure
that. Yeah.
some people have tried.
So basically, what happens is, so I click on.
I'm
so
downloading the app right
you
now.
open the app and you click on it. You can follow with me, Nick, when you get it up. So
All right,
you
let me
open it up and it
download it
says,
first.
"Welcome to Tudder, where you can find the perfect breeding partner for your cattle." Swipe left or click thumbs down to move on, or swipe right or click for more details.
Wow, this
And
is
you
a
click-
nice app.
You click. I'm looking for males or females, so I'm gonna look for females. And then you see a cow. So this is a 30. This is, I think it's 35 cows. 35 Jersey, New Zealand, Frisian, Holstein, Frisian cows, and calf breeding cows, dairy females. Sounds like a Craigslist ad that you search for. So you can like swipe yes or no. So I think this is no. I forget how to swipe. And it moves.
Oh.
Wait, I
Oh,
didn't know
yeah.
that you actually had
Honestly,
the app.
Yeah, I've been using it. Do
you have a cow?
Wait. Honestly,
yet.
can I say something? As
Yeah, Shayne.
weird as this is, what a great tool for a community of people
Right?
who would have no other way to find cows to mate with, because that's
Find
probably
single
a
cows in the
huge
area.
part of their life. And the fact that it swipes and it moves, that means the person who made this app cares about
Oh, Shayne.
the consumer.
It
I'm
gets
here for
better.
it. I like
So
this
Shayne,
app.
this is what happens when you swipe right. When you swipe yes.
Oh my gosh! Is that so? That's what
It's on.
that's
So now
Hold
that
on,
I click this,
Oh, God.
okay. It's now takes you to a screen on hold on. I gotta click.
Wait, how are
I
you
think my phone
swiping?
froze.
You don't have any cows.
I mean,
No, I was gonna say that.
Not yet.
Shane's like, well, this is such a great app for those of the people who don't have cows to be able to find other people that have cows until they get catfished by Michael, who doesn't have a cow.
I believe it's called Cat Cowed.
Okay,
And-
Michael,
Cowfished?
I have the app. I've been swiping right for a bit now.
Oh, you got the
what
app
is what is the middle icon for? I'm confused by that.
The middle icon you can go to. I believe you go to a link to get more details. So it connects to a website. It's actually a United Kingdom website. So you click on that to see more about the cow. It's on sellmylivestock.co.uk.
Man, I'm getting so many matches. Holy crap. This is way better than Tinder.
You get some cows. I mean, they're all in the UK, so you got to go
cows
over
like
there.
you, man.
To
Yeah.
get them.
Wow, they are in the UK. Oh, now I feel bad. I'm going to stop.
I did a little bit of research on this app as soon as Michael brought it up, and the cows having sex sound. So I did some research on this app just to look it up, and I pulled it up, and sure enough, it was on the iTunes App Store.
Yeah,
The first thing I noticed was like, oh wow, this is actually real. I didn't know if it was like a fake thing, but it was actually real, and it has 5 stars.
Yeah,
Dude,
it looks like the interface is great.
And it was number 79 in the business section of the Apple Store.
Dude,
people
Tudder's out
need
there.
people need their cows, man.
I'm great.
All right, what? Okay.
What's the word?
I just keep
A
hearing.
great English is like,
I just voted 5 stars on the app.
This is what the future has brought us, everyone.
Those are 18 cows.
And people say capitalism.
Either that or that's-
Who's doing this? Where are the cows going? Is that you, Nick, or is that Mike?
It's clearly Michael.
Okay,
Because
wait a
someone's
minute.
looking for a cow.
Dude, there's 4 pedigree stabilizer
wait.
crossbreeding heifers waiting for me.
I'm taking back what I said about this app. Taking back what I said about this app.
Cross-breeding heifers.
Why did you download it, Mike or Shane?
No, it's Apple only. It's not
Ah,
on.
man.
I feel like people who own cows are more likely to have androids.
No, they're definitely not.
I want to see how you came to that calculation there, buddy.
Calculation? Did you say cow? Cute.
How cute.
I'm getting off this podcast. I'm getting
The
off.
utter shame you
I
must feel
can't
right now.
I can't do it,
Oh,
guys. I can't do it.
Don't cry over spilled milk. Okay, let's move on. No, it's
What do
like, Nick just goes, I have to go.
I have to go, guys. I've been drinking. This is just not helping.
I've been drinking.
All right, so technically we're like an hour into this podcast.
Yeah, we're
since
milking
it's
it now.
2 parts.
Are we?
Shut up, Mike. You don't like Samoas.
Yeah, you don't get to talk.
Bro, I have cows.
Wait a minute.
I
Don't
got
think
4
that this
pedigree
app-
heifers.
Wait, Michael, don't think that this app is getting you back into the boat because it's not. You're definitely still on the outside.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just hanging on.
How dare you?
So, the Oscars
Oh
happened.
my gosh, did the Oscars happen?
Did they?
Indeed,
Actually,
they
the
did.
Oscars did happen.
You know what's funny? I went to an Oscars party on Sunday. We did not watch the Oscars.
Then what?
That's how my Super Bowl party was. We just played
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity on the
We
floor.
played Mario Kart.
Well,
so.
the Super Bowl,
Nice.
understanding it's boring, but
What?
Who are the Oscars, Shane?
Yeah, so everyone on this podcast, it sounds like Nick did not watch the Oscars. Shane watched the
who
Oscars.
won,
I watched
so.
most of the Oscars. I went to a bar to watch them because, I didn't have anyone to watch them with. And so I went to this bar to kind of like have it on while I got food because I hadn't had anything to eat yet. I sit down and it's playing, sure enough, up on the TVs. And somebody, I think it was the lady in the front, told the person that was running the TV to turn the sound off
What?
of the Oscars.
What's the point of watching something with no sound?
Good for her.
She was like, "Oh, we're at the bar. We can. It's kind of loud, and I don't really want to." I don't know who it was,
Good old Seattle.
but bars
Should've
now.
done-
He was like, "I
should've
can't
demanded
complain
that the
because I
volume
didn't
be
actually put my foot down and say,
It was
well, I
prob-
want the sound on."
It was probably
Right.
upsetting her, like, emotional stability parrot.
Maybe she
her
had
favorite person didn't win
the
an Oscar.
app
and she was
Tudder,
like,
and she was looking for cows, and she wanted to be able to hear them.
She couldn't hear the
There's nothing
moving.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with Tudder.
Luke,
A little bit of Tudder.
Hashtag normalized Tudder.
Wait, Luke, that girl was 100% a thin mint eater.
Probably. She probably didn't like
Man.
Samoas.
Shots
'cause she's a
friggin'
monster.
Fire, dude.
Man,
So I watched most of it.
savage.
But most of it I did not watch with sound. But actually, it's because when I actually got home and put it on, I had the volume down low and I wasn't like listening to it so much. So I don't know much about it. I don't know. I find award shows to be not the most interesting thing in the world to watch.
Not anymore.
So Shane, you are the expert right
Am
now.
I?
What did you think?
Relatively.
Compared to us, yeah,
I mean, so
it's not hard.
I will say this. So
Uh-oh.
everyone knows that Kevin Hart was supposed to host the Oscars, correct?
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't know that.
Okay,
I forgot about
Let me
that.
just say before you go on, Shane, it's weird they didn't have a host. That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have a host at all?
There was no host.
No, yeah.
Dang.
So,
I didn't even think about
They
that.
had months.
like-
That's true.
They had months
Don't worry,
to-
Kevin. We don't need you. We don't need anybody. We're just gonna do it
What?
ourselves.
So my whole thought on the Oscars is that, well, not that it wasn't entertaining and didn't keep my attention, but it was boring because it was just, here's this award, here's this award, here's this performance, here's this award, here's this award. And it was like, that's
Is
all
it-
we're doing
but
all
is
night.
there ever an
There's no-
award show that's not like that?
When there's hosts, you have like at least there's monologues.
I
and
can't
jokes
believe I
in
didn't
between,
even
and there's
notice.
little
I
skits
didn't
and
even
stuff in
notice
between.
that there was no host.
Because
And that's the sad
it ran
part,
really
dude.
smooth.
I
No, it's
get
not
it,
the sad
'cause-
part because it ran really smooth.
Well,
But
I mean, so
sometimes with the
I
host,
had
it can be
forgotten.
fun.
I
Yeah, I
forgot.
guess that makes sense. Yeah,
I forgot
that's
that
true.
Kevin Hart was axed, like just cut off. Not allowed to. But like,
well,
I thought they would have gotten someone else.
backed out of the position.
No, he got kicked off.
I thought he got kicked off. Yeah.
He backed out before he was going to get kicked off.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
yeah.
it looks better.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I have no.
I was all in the Kevin Hart drama. Trust me.
Yeah, I have no.
All right. Well,
expertise on this
I
matter.
wasn't, but I could have sworn. But okay, I will go with you. What do you mean you were all about the Kevin Hart drama? Is that what you said?
I said I was all in it. Like I was.
All right, fine. We'll go with.
I trust Shayne's opinion on this.
That was just,
Fine,
I mean, that's
fine.
also coming from him. When in interview. So, but unless
Well,
he's
I'm not
lying.
saying. Okay, I'm not saying that because Shayne's black. I just want to put that out there.
Wow. I don't think. I don't
wanna
think
put that-
Shane's
anyone
black?
thought that. I don't think anyone had that thought.
Oh, I did. I had that.
Okay, so Kevin Hart was chopped off, and then no host. Yeah, I love when people do that. Oof.
Whatever. You know what?
So
Wait, have you heard of what? Have you heard of Meat Peep?
No, what's
Well,
that?
no, Myth Piff. That's what.
what?
It is.
Myth? Piff?
What?
So
What
there's
does
this
that mean?
13-year-old girl, or 14, I think, in like my cast for the show.
the worst kind.
And she said Myth Piff to me, and I said, "Excuse me," and she said, "What? Come on, man, keep up." Like Myth Piff. I said, "I'm never saying Myth Piff in my life. What does that mean? Why do you guys talk like that? What is going on?"
Way to be
What
out of
does it mean?
touch.
Yeah, I was
Shane,
gonna say,
I said,
Shane.
I am not
I,
hip, apparently. Wow.
I think
This
out of all four of us,
Shane should know what that
Shane
means.
is
I
going
should.
to. No,
I should,
no. Hold
right?
up. Let me finish. Out of all four of us, Shane is going to be the best old man.
He's ready.
He's gonna be like, "What
I
are you
believe in
saying?"
Shane.
And they'll be like, "It's this thing," and you're like, "No, wrong. You shouldn't." Say that."
Yeah, and I already have so many stories. Like
That's
I
stupid
already
stuff.
talk to my kids basically like that.
I believe it.
So my kids are like, "I hate the '90s." I'm like, "What do you know about the '90s? Let me tell you something about the
Let me
90s." You know what
tell you
I
about when
miss
I was your age.
Back in my day.
that actually happened. I said, "You know what I miss about the '90s?" And we were passing this building complex place, and it used to be a skating ring that I used to go to all the time. And I pointed to it as we're driving. I said, "This used to be a skating ring, and I used to come here every weekend and had a great time with my friends. And what is it now? A waste of a parking lot and a waste of space."
He's like, back in my day, like, we didn't have Wi-Fi. Like, if I wanted to go play the video game at my friend's house, I had to ask my mom to drive me to his house. And I had to ask his mom if it was okay if I could come over. Then I had to go over, bring my own controllers, and we had to bring our own memory cards so I could have my custom character.
that's
Oh
true.
my gosh! Yeah.
No, it's so funny too.
Back
'Cause
in my
it'd be
day.
like, back in
Struggle.
my day, we didn't have Fortnite. We didn't have Roblox or whatever the kids are playing.
Good reference, Luke.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be relevant. We don't
No.
have Fortnite.
You're not though. You're not.
Oh.
Did you guys ever play Fortnite? I didn't play Fortnite.
Yes,
never
I'm
played Fortnite.
terrible.
So when I got my Switch,
Fortnite,
I downloaded Fortnite.
Roblox. What's the other one? There's another big game that
PUBG?
kids play.
Is there
No, not
That-
PUBG.
that's for
Roblox.
kids, Mark?
Minecraft.
Minecraft is old though.
Oh.
Is there still
Battlefront 2.
They all play Spider-Man on Xbox or on PS4.
All right, we're done.
Oh my gosh. Well, Luke's gone now, so we can talk about Spider-Man on PS4. It's
No, we've
so
already talked
good.
about
Bad.
Spider-Man on PS4.
I want to talk about it again, Luke.
What?
No, why are we
That's
talking
how-
about it again?
Because it's so good.
I haven't played
Spider-Man
it.
is like
No.
one of the most popular topics on this podcast.
Yeah, we literally talked about
We've
Spider-Man
had
more
like
times than anything
6
else.
episodes about Spider-Man.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the one that, like the
Yeesh.
third episode ever was about Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you don't get to talk about it.
we
Moving
talked
on.
about
You
it for.
guys talk
What
about
was wrong
Spider-Man
with
a
the
lot, you
Oscars?
nerds.
Shayne, what did you not like about?
Wait, speaking of Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. No, it's about the Oscars.
There you go.
Into the Spider-Verse won Best Animated Feature
Oh
Film.
man!
Right on, dude. It's so
Oh
good.
man!
I mean, everyone was kind of mad that Incredibles 2 didn't win. But
Oh,
like,
dude, no. Spider-Verse is way
Right.
better.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I think
Did you
Spider-Verse
know
is
was really good for
Incredibles
what it
2?
was.
Incredibles 2 has made more money than any other Pixar movie ever.
As it deserves.
Really? Wow.
What?
I don't think
really?
it was that good.
Neither did
Nah, dude.
I.
I think it was better than
No,
the
I
first.
thought.
I felt let down.
I thought it was
What?
really. I thought the
I
first
was-
one was fantastic. I thought
will-
the second
It was
one
incredible.
was great, but it wouldn't be. It's not fantastic. It wasn't incredible. How about that?
I think the second one is better than the first one.
No
Incredibles
way,
2.
Shayne.
I will say, let me
Incredibles
finish.
2 is the top grossing animation movie of all time.
Okay,
Wow,
but
that's
here's
crazy.
here's the
Makes
thing.
sense, though. It's got a
Here's
lot
the
of
thing
hype.
about here's the thing about that grossing thing.
my goodness.
I have like done research on this because I'm stupid or well I'm just bored.
Hello?
But I have
Well,
done research.
inflation.
Right, exactly. And so it doesn't count as many tickets as
Yeah,
sold.
except that The Incredibles 2 almost made the amount that Deadpool 1 and 2 made together.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You can hate on Incredibles 2 all you want, Nick,
It made
but you will always lose.
So
Incredibles
much
2
money.
Family,
was
those family
good.
It
films,
is
man.
number 9
But-
all-time
You want to
domestic.
make money? You want to make money? Make a family film. People
You know what
are
doesn't
gonna
make
go
sense
see it.
though? So at
But
the end
it's
of
just
Incredibles
insane.
1,
Wait.
at the end of Incredibles 1, like people are starting to like superheroes now because they saved the world and they're like, oh man, superheroes are awesome. And then Incredibles 2, they did the exact same plot again where they had to convince everybody that superheroes are awesome. They just did that in Incredibles 1. Literally, and it ended like 5 minutes before the next one started. It's dumb.
The only movie that made more
so I
money
will say-
than Incredibles 2 this year was Infinity
Wait.
War. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead. Shayne.
great. So,
Sorry.
Let me now. I gotta just rephrase my whole sentence. I think Incredibles 2 is better than Incredibles 1. The only thing I
Okay.
will say about Incredibles 2 is that I don't like the villain. The villain is it was a very letdown of
okay.
the villain.
I actually
thought
didn't
the villain
see.
in Incredibles 1 he was great. He was fantastic. This girl, I mean, she was whatever, but the way they set it up, it was pretty lackluster, but
Yeah, her motive was less
everything
apparent.
else about the film, I think,
So-
is they took about the first one and
But sh-
basically
but sh-
made it bigger and better,
So,
which I'm
wait,
okay
Shayne,
with.
but
Just
Shayne,
for
but
one
Shayne.
second, before
Okay.
anyone says anything, I actually haven't
I
seen
was
this
just trying
movie.
to finish my sentence.
I did not see Incredibles 2, so don't spoil it.
Well, then shut up, Luke.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, Luke, why are you talking? Gosh,
Take
All
care,
right,
Luke.
Nick, what were you going to say?
you're damn right. It's my turn to speak. Shayne, here's the thing: the villain in Incredibles 1 was so good. That's what made Incredibles 1 so much better than Incredibles 2. His motive, his whole persona was so much darker than any other Pixar film. I didn't feel that with Incredibles 2.
I agree with you on the villain part, but it's not about the villain. It's about the Incredibles, and it's about
I
the
disagree,
family.
and I disagree. I
Incorrect.
disagree.
The movie is called The Incredibles. It's about the Incredibles. It's about the family dynamic between them, which was a
Sure.
lot stronger.
Part of
in
that-
the second one, because they had the dynamics.
There was less
now the
conflict, and
woman
that's why I
the
didn't like it.
mom Is going up, but that's not what the movie was about. You're mad because they didn't give you what they gave you already. They gave you something else.
You're
and you
mad.
didn't like it.
That's not why I'm mad. I'm saying it's just not as good.
Wait, hold on. Time out.
You can't
Stop.
handle the
Both of
truth,
you stop for
Shayne.
1 second. No one said anything about anybody being mad. Shayne just pulled that out of nowhere. Like,
Shayne-
this is why you're mad. It's
Shayne
like,
is
who said
throwing
they were
fire
mad?
right now. Shayne is just throwing out fire right now. He is.
I've spent too much time on Twitter in the past few days.
Oh my gosh. Oh guys, I'm back on Twitter.
I had Twitter
guess.
mentality.
Oh,
By
go
the
look
way,
at Nick's
by the way, I'm back on Twitter.
political
I
tweets
can-
on Twitter.
I can plug that again. Yeah.
But dude,
But yeah, the
no,
Oscar.
but Incredibles. Wait. Incredibles 2. So yeah, the villain wasn't as good. It is about the Incredibles. I thought it was pretty funny, but like the thing is, they set up so much. Like they have all these like big points about how like the media distracts us from stuff, but then it doesn't go anywhere from that. They ask a bunch of questions, but they don't have any answers. It's like I don't know. It just feels pointless to me. And it was super predictable. You're like, oh, that's gonna do that. Yep, they did that. That guy's gonna. Yep, he is. Oh, she is.
Michael's
Okay.
review
And
of
we
The
also have to
Incredibles.
remember-
Pointless
Oof.
and predictable.
It was
Dang,
funny
We
though.
also
I
have
saw
to
it twice.
remember Wait. We also have to remember there's a 14-year gap between the two. One we saw in a different
they had 14
time
years
with
to
a
make it
different
perfect.
mindset. No, but we saw it in a different time with a different mindset. You might just be stuck in your nostalgia ways and you just can't see the incredibleness.
Dude,
And
Shayne's
that's
pulling out
and
all
Michael,
the
and
stuff.
Michael,
Come at my
that,
maturity.
hold on, and Michael, and that is why you met.
To be fair, Michael, can't really say anything. You don't like Samoas, so I
I don't even know what I know.
I don't really care about your opinion right now, so it's fine.
Your opinion means nothing.
Can we actually talk?
My
Can we talk
mind's
about?
been clouded by
Can,
coconut.
can we talk about what we were going to talk about with the Oscars, please?
We're talking about the
Spider-Verse,
Oscars. So the
which I
one-
have not seen yet, but I also heard
Luke,
from another person.
it's so good.
I
It's
don't
fantastic.
watch movies that much anymore. I'm sorry,
because you're a lame.
but I know it's good. I will see
He
it.
makes movies, people. He makes movies. He's a
big. You haven't
snob.
seen it.
Still in the
It's
game.
so
I'm
good.
sorry.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should
I'll
saw it in the
see it.
theaters.
I'll
It's
see
so
it. I'll
good
see
in
it.
theaters.
I will see it.
So the
Very
thing
soon.
I did like about the
sad.
Oscars,
I'm upset.
right? The
Okay,
thing I
go ahead.
did like about the Oscars is that this Oscars was the most time that. Sorry, I'm trying to find the exact quote.
No,
in
you
the
you
post.
got this, bruh.
I'm so excited to hear what you're about to say.
Uh-oh.
Crap. Well, I can't find the exact thing, but it is the most times that.
Shayne, say something.
Sorry.
The
I'm trying-
most something.
I was scrolling through the post. I'm sorry. It's the most times. That's not the way to phrase it. It's the Oscars. This Oscars was the most amount of black people and most amount of black people in general, like of all time, and
Like
the most
nominated?
female. No, the most to win in one ceremony.
I have
And then
opinions on that aren't good
and-
opinions.
And then it was the, I mean, we probably have the same opinions, but it was the most women the most women in history too to win.
Okay,
in one
okay.
night,
Wow, cool.
which
That's
was
crazy.
15
That is
15 women
because
and 7 black people.
I think that's because the Oscars are getting up on their heels because of what people have said about the Oscars in the past.
Yeah, it's the same things the
And
Grammys
that's it.
did this past year. They did the same exact thing. They gave all the
The
awards.
same
to
thing
the
they did with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Man.
Can I just say my one complaint about the Oscars? I'm really glad.
They were
Black,
deserved though of the award.
Yeah, Black Panther. I'm really
They all
glad
did
that Black
good,
Panther didn't
but-
win anything serious. I'm mad that Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture because it clearly
Chadwick
didn't
Boseman-
deserve that.
Chadwick Boseman was so pissed off that Black Panther did not win Best Picture.
Well,
Yeah,
it's his
dude.
movie.
Why?
He had that
see.
reaction. He had a reaction from when Green Book won, and everyone clipped that and memed that. But I mean, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
understand because some people might look at it as, well, Black Panther was probably I think the highest grossing film of the year. All these great ratings, all this, talk, people loved it, all this stuff. So why would you not consider that the best picture? Whereas someone else who is more looking at, the things that a film is made up as might see it, okay, like, sure, that was great and it had a lot of hype and it sold well, but it's not the best film,
Right.
Right.
that came out this year. And so I think it's two ways to look at it. But whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. It was good. It was a great movie.
Black
I
Panther
liked it,
wasn't my vote,
but it wasn't
so
the
I
best
don't
movie
care.
ever.
It's
I don't
funny.
know. It's like, oh, go ahead. Nick.
I mean, well, just for me, I like Black Panther was a good movie. I would say it's a great movie. It's one of the best. I would say it's one of the best like Marvel films ever made. But
And shout
I
out to
don't
Marvel. This Marvel with Black Panther winning, these were Marvel's first Oscars that they've ever won. So
yeah,
Yeah, but I don't think it was that much better than the other Marvel movies.
no, and that's
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
the point I
Like,
was making. Is like, why
it's
did
like,
this
it's a good
deserve?
movie.
Why did this
To
deserve
me-
the Oscar? I think it was one of those Oscars so white
a
hashtag Oscars so
political
white
thing.
thing.
It's a
Exactly.
hate-
political thing.
Hey,
Why are
I do-
awards
I do
like
think,
that?
though-
You can't not
Wait.
give
Can't-
Black Panther an Oscar.
Ugh,
wait,
can't
wait,
be
wait. Side
political
note.
because then you
Side note.
ruin the awards.
But I do think like to its credit, like it was a moment. Like it was an inspiring
For sure.
time. There was lots of hype. Like, it
saw the
was
point.
a big deal, I think, culturally, like in movies. And
Right.
it meant a lot to people. But yeah, like, as an objective film, it's not like anything super special.
That'd be
Right.
like Avatar winning an Oscar, like Best Picture. And it's like, it's not, it's like an impressive movie. It did things a lot of other movies haven't done before, but it's not like a Best Picture. Like, it's not, because the thing about like going off of effects or something like that, let's say they did effects, because Avatar obviously had great effects. In 10 years, people are going to be like, why did this win an Oscar? And it's like, oh, because at the time, the special effects were really good. But the Best Picture is not usually measured that way. And so the fact that like Black Panther got measured for, I don't know what, like, it's a good movie, but it's
You don't
not
believe it should have been nominated at all?
not for Best Picture.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't think so, no. I mean, I don't know what makes it such a good movie. It's like everything about it's good, but it's not. It's not. I don't watch it going, this is one of the
agree with
best
you.
movies that I've seen. You know, it just. Oh,
I watched it twice in theaters, and I didn't like it as much the second time.
Yeah, same.
And
I
that's
also watched it twice in
usually
theaters.
that's not how it works for me for movies. I usually like it more.
It's on Netflix. I think I should see it again. Honestly,
It's good. It's
I
fun.
saw
I've watched it like
I saw it
probably 4
open.
times by
So
now.
after all the
I
hype
like to
that
watch it outside of the hype.
all the hype that came out, I watched it opening day. I was like, okay, let's do this. I loved it. I came out, I was like, wow, that was great. Because I loved the director. He's the guy that did Creed. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was fantastic. And I love Chadwick Boseman already. I feel like if I watched it again, like you said, Shane, I won't like it as much. Outside of that, I'd be like, oh, it's just another Marvel movie.
If
I'm
you watch
good.
it outside of the hype, it's not like as.
it is. It feels exactly like all the other Marvel movies feel to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I do think it's a little more stylized though. Like there's more of a congruent like theme like musically, and like they do some cooler shots.
It has
They
its
have a
own
more thought out
story
villain,
within it.
but it's
not
not
just
like
a Marvel
it's not super crazy.
standard stuff.
But hey, did Creed 2 get nominated for anything? Because Creed 2 was amazing.
I
I have no idea.
don't believe
I can
so.
pull it up. Creed 2.
But who didn't get
awards.
nominated, or who did get nominated, but who did not win anything,
Oh, no.
was Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, everyone said he got snubbed. He got gypped.
Bradley Cooper? Who's that?
Yes.
Who's Bradley Cooper again?
He's the guy in The Hangover.
Which one?
What else is he in? Oh, he's an American Sniper.
Bradley Cooper? He's in so many things. The Hangover.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
in
trying
American
to think-
Sniper. A Star Is Born. He's in Limitless.
Oh, that
he's.
Limitless
Dude.
is the one you remember.
No, I just
remember
googled it.
remember all of those.
Oh, okay.
I'm
don't
a
know
huge
celebrity
Bradley
names.
Cooper fan. I love him.
Because so Bradley Cooper was
Definitely one of my
in
favorites.
he was in a movie and directed. Didn't he direct A Star Is Born? Or he wrote it or
He
something?
wrote, directed, acted, and sang all of his own parts, and learned to play guitar. In A Star Is Born, yes.
Dude, if you're in a movie, you can learn how to do anything in 3 months. Amazing.
Well,
What? So
Maybe.
my issue is, so A Star Is Born was nominated for Best Picture. Bradley Cooper was nominated for Best Actor and Best Adapted Screenplay and all that. Right? Doesn't win Adapted Screenplay. That's great. Whatever. He was nominated for Best Actor, which I personally don't understand why he was placed in that category, and they didn't push him to be in the Best Director category because he was not nominated for Best Director. I think it's because maybe his people thought he would have a better chance in the Best Actor category, which I don't know why they thought that, because it was very clear that Rami Malek, or whatever his name is, was going to win.
right.
Yeah.
So I think he should have been nominated in the Best Director category. I'm not saying that he should have necessarily won, but I do think that's what it should have been recognized, because for everything he did for that film, I think that trumps his acting, which is great in the movie, but I mean, everything else that had to go into it, I think he should have been nominated for Best Director, and I think the Oscars are a piece of crap.
Amen, brother. I'm with you there. That's why we played Mario
For not
Kart. It was
giving
way
him
more
one
entertaining,
award
dude.
After snubbing him in
Oh,
a category
man.
he should have been nominated for to begin with.
I'm gonna
I
get
really
back to
do-
ever.
I mean,
But,
I really do think the Oscars is just a political thing now. I don't think it has anything to do with talent, anything to do with best movie anymore. I think it has everything to do with just politics. That's why The Shape of Water won.
Politics.
Yeah, politics.
Where the girl wants to have sex with a fish.
Yeah, I think that's why Shape of Water won, because Alfonso Cuarón did that interview with Vanity Fair that said, hey, this was a movie that I did because Trump got elected. It was like, what the heck, dude?
Oh,
Here's the
he
thing.
did that
So
movie,
here's-
and he just won a bunch of awards.
Wait,
too,
is that really? I don't
for
care.
Roma.
So here's the other thing. So I'm looking at.
stuck in his dick.
Oh,
Bradley-
sorry.
I'm looking-
Guillermo del Toro. Alfonso Cuarón is a great director. Guillermo
okay.
del Toro.
Hold
Guillermo
on.
del Toro is a hack. Sorry. Go on.
Oh, you think so? Really?
I think he's a hack in the sense of why he makes movies.
That's fair. I don't know much about him. But anyway, so I'm looking at the awards and nominations for Bradley Cooper, and he was nominated in 2013. He was nominated in 2014. He was nominated twice in 2015, and he was nominated 3 times in 2019. And he hasn't won once.
Long overdue.
Wah, wah.
That's like worse than Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's never been nominated for.
Tom Hardy doesn't need to win.
Tom Hardy
anything.
doesn't.
He just mumbles.
What? Wait.
No,
Are you insulting
that's not
Tom
what I was gonna- that's not what I
friggin'
was going to
Hardy?
say.
I know. No, I'm getting on Luke's case. Wait, are you getting? Wait,
love Tom
Luke.
Nick doesn't even know what he feels
Luke.
right now.
Luke,
I'm waiting for you to finish saying something so I can
do you
respond.
not like Tom Hardy as an actor?
He's fine. He's just not anything special.
Nick's like, you don't love him?
What?
All he does is just mumble.
What?
What was he good in?
How many Tom Hardy movies?
Oh
Everything
my
I have
gosh!
an- everything
Rock,
I have an
Mad
opinion
Max,
on.
Inception,
everything-
The Dark Knight
everything-
Rises,
Everything that I have an
can I
opinion
just keep
on, I
going?
thought about.
Bronson,
And, yeah,
The
it
Revenant,
mumbles.
Dunkirk.
Wait,
Where
mumbles.
else can
Nothing.
I go?
Nothing.
Lawless.
Nothing.
Warrior. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Dude, how dare you?
Wait,
That's my
Nick,
Which
favorite
one
actor.
was he good in?
Hey, Nick,
None of
Nick,
them.
Nick.
All
chill
of
for a
them.
second. Nick,
Now
chill
he's
for a
boring.
second.
No, that's my favorite actor. That's why I know all those
Are you
movies.
kidding me?
Luke,
Yeah,
Luke,
he's my
He's your
favorite actor.
favorite actor?
I'm gonna
What?
punch you in the face. I don't care how far away
Come
you
to
are.
Seattle and fight me. Fine.
I have a question for Luke,
Yes.
please.
Yes, Shane.
Luke.
How many?
Oh my-
Nick, chill for
Stop.
a second. Chill
What?
for a second. Luke, how many movies of Tom Hardy's have you seen?
Like 5?
Which ones?
I saw Inception. I saw Dark Knight Rises, Mad Max. What are some of the other ones, Nick? You're kind of an expert on all the movies you said.
Lock,
Oh,
Lawless, Tinker
I'm
Tailor
think-
Soldier. Sorry,
Lawless, I
sorry.
saw.
So I'm sorry. I'm
Dunkirk?
sorry. I'm gonna stop.
I did not see Tinker.
I'm under the assumption that Luke's only seen the Tom Hardy movies where his characters do mumble. He hasn't seen other Tom
What's-
Hardy
what's
movies.
his
Bane
best-
doesn't mumble.
Not
Bane like
Yes.
is super well spoken in Dark Knight Rises.
I think his two
Yeah, but
best
he has
movies
his
are.
voice.
I didn't say
They
that
had to.
mumbles.
Bane.
I'm gonna
They
say-
had to redub his voice because people couldn't understand him.
That had
Yeah,
nothing to
he's
do
That's
with
why
Tom
half
Hardy.
the time it
though.
doesn't look like he's talking.
That had nothing to
He's
do
like
with
a
Tom
mask
Hardy.
the
though.
whole time.
Well,
Luke.
then,
Yeah,
well, then
exactly.
what's up with? But then in
They
Mad
overdub
Max,
voices
he's-
like in
in
90% of
Mad
movie
Max,
scenes anyway.
He also mumbles.
Well, I could definitely understand him in Mad Max though. They didn't have to redo his sound.
Really?
In that movie. Yes.
I could. He's just like. Brr, brr, brr.
Get better speakers or better ears, Luke.
I'm Tom
Yeah, I
Hardy,
can
brr.
understand words.
Yeah, I know what words are, Luke. My
sure
point.
you do.
Listen, he was
Luke,
great in
I would
Legend.
suggest-
He was great in The Revenant. He was great in Dunkirk. He was great in Mad Max. He was great
Oh
in
yeah,
Lock.
I saw
he was,
Dunkirk too. He didn't
he
do
was
anything
great
in that movie.
He was great
Hey,
in
Luke.
Lawless. He was great in Warrior. Luke, you
Warrior,
are
I
so
didn't see.
wrong. You
Hey,
are
Luke,
so
I
I
wrong.
didn't
Luke.
say. I didn't
Luke.
say. Here's the thing. He just doesn't deserve an Oscar.
Oh my gosh, Luke.
Hey, Luke.
What does he deserve an Oscar for? Which
Warrior.
one? Warrior? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't
by
see
far.
Warrior.
By
Hey,
far.
Luke, if you want to check out one of Tom Hardy's maybe not so commercialized, like really big movies, and maybe see him in a smaller movie where he showcases a little more of his acting ability, you should check out his movie called The Drop, because I think that movie is pretty good, and I think
Drop's
he's pretty good in that movie myself.
The movies that
Drop?
he deserves.
The Drop, yeah.
He
I'm not saying
deserves.
he deserves an
yeah,
Oscar for that movie, but
Right. He deserves credit for movies
That's good.
like The Drop, for Bronson, for Locke. Locke is an 85-minute
Locke,
film
yes. Actually,
where it's
he
just
should have gotten
Tom
nominated
Hardy.
for Locke. He should
It's
have
So I
just
haven't
Tom Hardy.
I haven't seen any of those.
So you
Seen
need to
Locke,
shut the hell
watch
up. You need to
Locke,
just
and
shut
then-
up, Luke.
I'm
we're-
not
Nick, we're
backing
trying to
down.
get
I'm
him
saying
on our
exactly. I'm saying exactly
I'm
what
not.
I said. I don't think he deserves an Oscar.
Yes.
I'm just-
But Nick, you
you're
need
so
to watch
wrong.
Locke and you need to watch The Drop, and then we'll have this conversation again. Okay, so
He's
Moving
like,
on.
stop. Let's go. Move on.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad at Luke and Mike. Shayne, you're all I have left, dude. You're
every-
all I have left.
This is every single podcast. It's me. It's just no. We said this. It's like we should rename this podcast "Luke Argues with Somebody" or something.
Yeah, basically.
Because it's
Yeah,
always
versus the
me
world.
versus someone.
Rock
Yeah,
versus
He's
the
also
world.
in Layer Cake. I almost
Luke
forgot.
Rocks versus the world.
Have you seen Layer Cake?
That's good.
Luke,
What'd you say?
have you seen the movie Layer Cake? Like a cult classic,
No.
directed by Matthew Vaughn. I watched that movie too. Luke, you got to catch up on movies, man. I know you've been I know you've been making movies.
Watch Lock in the Drop. If he gets too overwhelmed, he won't do any of this. So just watch 2 movies for now, Luke.
It's actually true. I love that you're spoon feeding me. Like, here you go, Luke. You just take those 2, and then we'll get you some more.
This is how I have to talk to 4-year-olds every single day.
Hey, okay. So what else did you guys think about the Oscars? Anything
I
else
wanna say
noteworthy?
I want to say that Bradley Cooper kind of did win an Oscar, but not really, because Shallow won Best Original Song from A Star Is Born, and he sings on that song. But that's a songwriter's award, and he didn't write the song, so he did
Ooh.
not get the award.
That's good.
So I thought that was also like a little snub to the Oscars, for like, haha, we're kind of giving you something.
It's like they're like dangling it in front of him, like oh no, and then they give it to someone else.
Everyone else who worked like on the film, or at least that song, goes up on stage, and he's just sitting there, and they have to like talk about him from the stage. I'm like, he should be up there.
That was like the year that Matthew McConaughey won Best Actor, and there's a GIF of Michael Keaton
for that movie, he did not deserve to win Best Actor for.
for the AIDS movie. Yeah, the Dallas Buyers Club. And
I
then
mean, he
there's
was great in that movie, but there were better people that year.
Well, there's a GIF of Michael Keaton from Birdman. He did Birdman that year. And you can see him put away his best man speech and then bow his head in shame. Like it's just so brutal. He put best man speech. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid.
I was confused.
He puts away. I'm thinking of me when I had my best man speech on paper. He puts away his speech that he had on paper. He puts it back in his pocket. And then he just bows his head in shame and sits back down as Matthew McConaughey takes the stage. It's
Michael
so...
Keaton
Oh,
ran
man.
through Times Square, like live Times Square, naked. Deserves an Oscar for that.
That's what I said. Like,
Dude,
dude.
I can do that. I can get an Oscar.
Birdman is still one of those movies where everyone needs to see it, but no one has.
I've
was
seen
all-
Birdman.
It was all done in one. It was all done in one take.
Oh
and it was
no! Now I'm
fantastic.
gonna have to argue with you more.
No,
Wait.
we don't have to do that.
Wait.
It also wasn't all
Wait, you thought
Shane's
it was
like, moving on.
You thought it was a bad movie?
No. Why? I'm not saying any of this stuff is bad. It just I watched it and I was like, they're like, dude, this soundtrack is so good. I'm like, the soundtrack's impressive from a drummer perspective, but can you
Yes.
imagine how much easier it would be to score a movie with one instrument that's just a person doing fills? You get one drummer and you
Okay.
hire him. You have him watch
Luke,
the movie
having
and
the
drum to
drummer
it.
on the
Listen to me.
podcast?
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Respectfully, you don't know what you're talking about, but keep going.
Hear me out. Yeah, I certainly do know what I'm talking about. You've never scored a movie before, you drummer. It's like the thing about movies is like when you're actually writing a score, you actually have to write the notes and the music and then orchestrate an entire orchestra of a ton of instruments as opposed to one person drumming. It's just like I
but
could
has
literally
Luke
put
scored
you
a
on the
movie?
drums, Nick, and record you playing a score to my movie, and you just hit the drums with what you think should happen, and now
Luke-
you're done. One take.
Luke, I completely agree with you that movie did not have a complicated score in the sense that it was only one instrument used, but I still think that one instrument did more than most movies could do in the history of movie scores. Honestly, the way that drummer, I know the drummer, but the way that drummer portrayed those scenes and what he did with that sound with those drums. I mean, it's different for me because I'm a drummer, so I can understand all the nuances that he did with what he did.
I know that
But-
it's like difficult. Like I know what he was playing was super difficult, but it's like most scores are not that easy to play. You know,
Ew.
you listen to like some of the Danny Elfman themes and stuff like that, or even the Hans Zimmer stuff, and like that stuff is insanely complicated.
but it doesn't
you
have to be
compare that
complicated.
to one
That's-
drummer.
It doesn't have to be complicated.
And
That's
I
the
know, and
beauty of
doesn't
it.
mean-
hipsters
doesn't
have
mean
this
impressive.
way. And hipsters have this way of saying we're being artsy, but also taking the easy door out.
Right.
And that's what that score felt like to me. It was super simple.
I don't agree with you.
I completely that I think that comment. I agree with you that there are definitely more.
Was coming out of anger and not out of facts.
I agree. No, wait. I agree.
with you.
Okay, first of all, I haven't seen Birdman. I know. I'm sorry.
Get your life
I was
together,
homeschooled.
Michael.
But I agree with. I was homeschooled. I wasn't allowed to watch movies until I turned 18. But like, definitely, I see Luke's point about like the hipster like thing. Like, oh, he recorded this song, this whole like thing with just like one ukulele and an avocado plugged into a Walkman. Like, that's like the mega hipster thing to do. Like, there is beauty in simplicity, and there is beauty in like simple elegance. And there's cool artsiness in like limiting yourself, but also at the same time, sometimes people just do it for the sake of hipsterness.
I don't think that movie encompasses hipsterness.
I haven't seen Birdman, so I don't know.
Well, in the sense that they were just using the drums and just to be different, I think the drums really did add a lot. And I think
was it
added
only
a
drums?
brand. It added a style to it, but it was like, this is good. This works. Like, let me pull back on my aggressiveness on this, but it's like, it's fine. It worked fine. I thought it worked well for the film, but I don't listen to the soundtrack going, I am so impressed with this, because as an editor, I'm like, dude, you just set one person up on the drums who's extremely good at drumming and let him just go.
Wait, so the
Now
whole
I'm
soundtrack
done.
is just
Now
drums?
I have no editing to do.
It's
I'm
Antonio
finished.
Sanchez. He's
Artistic freedom.
he's a percussionist.
And I just felt like that.
I need to watch
like,
this.
because I think of it from an editor perspective. It's like, sweet. I don't need to record anything. I don't need to plan anything. I just let someone do. To me,
That's debatable.
it's like when I film, or when. That's why I don't like movies like.
I hate when people say that.
It is though. It's debatable to say.
Everything's debatable. I do it all the time. I'm like, that's debatable.
but
The
the
sun's
idea-
gonna rise tomorrow.
Yeah, but that comment of like it, you can't. Those drums
me,
were
it seems
obviously
like
very edited and very hammered down to
Yeah,
what
but
the scene
compared
needed.
to like an actual score, you could
Right.
Listen, hear me out, okay? If I took a soundtrack,
You're so
from Hans
traditional,
Zimmer,
Luke. Gosh,
If I took a
you
Han,
should be,
if I took,
be original sometime, Luke.
listen to me.
Gosh.
If I took a Hans Zimmer soundtrack and wanted to edit it to make it a little bit shorter because my cut is different, that would be so much more difficult than pulling out one measure of the drums or telling my drummer, "Can you redo this? I'm going to edit it a little differently and just re-record this." Like,
So
that's
you're-
so much easier
So it has to be more difficult for you to appreciate it.
for it to be more impressive. Yeah.
That's for him, which,
Difficulty
difficult
is
is
what
how
matters for
impressive it is.
you. Work put in. There needs to be more hours dedicated to the craft.
If you want me to be
versus-
impressed with something, you have to do something that impresses me.
Okay, and I think that's a different philosophy. Wouldn't you say that's like a different philosophy on what's I don't know
It
more
doesn't
impressive
what they
I'm more
did
in your mind?
I mean, that's all you can do is like look at something and say like, does it impress me or not? And it's like, it doesn't impress me because I don't think it's very difficult comparative to what other things do.
Okay, wait. Actually, I was talking about this the other day because I was thinking about like, yeah, I was because I was thinking about like gymnastics and like sometimes people do like crazy holds where they'll like be balancing on like one hand, you know?
I can
But if
do
you
that.
Yeah, it's not that hard. No, I was kidding. No, but like if you saw it, the reason why it's impressive is because you're like, oh yeah, that's like.
Sorry,
the reason why
just-
it's impressive, if you see someone do
sorry.
something, you understand like, oh, that's really hard to do. That's awesome. But watching somebody like balance on one hand isn't exciting at all, right?
What? Are you
Right.
kidding me? The core strength.
Yeah, it's exciting because you know how difficult it is. But if you it was just like an alien, you just saw these humans like, wow, that guy's standing on his hands. It's amazing. You're like, what? You're just doing the same thing
so
he does
you're
upside down.
saying that because Luke cannot really comprehend the amount of work that probably went
I'm not
into
insulting
that
Luke's
drum
co-
score
Luke's-
that he
Luke's
doesn't see the
knowledge.
I really
No,
do.
it keeps getting pushed back into this like I
No,
don't
but I'm saying-
understand the complexity
No,
of
no,
how
no.
hard
I'm
the
not saying
drums
that, Luke.
are.
I'm not saying that.
Which is
I'm
not-
saying
I mean,
that
that's part of
objectively.
it. But that's not what I'm actually saying.
I know, but
go
I'm
ahead,
saying like
Mike.
there's like objectively, you're impacted by something different based on what you know about it
Yes.
and based on how it is. So, for instance,
Exactly. Yeah.
all right, like think about this: if somebody who is like
It's just
weighs like
perspective.
90 pounds holds on to a pull-up bar for like an hour, that's kind of impressive. But they weigh like 90 pounds. The hands don't have to be that strong. Someone who weighs 200 pounds is the same thing. It's a lot harder, but it's not exciting to watch either of them do it.
I'm impressed by
Depends on what
either
you-
one because to begin with.
Well, we'll say a minute. I don't know. Either way, I'm saying like
Time out. So
it depends on the
with,
person.
with this, if I was looking at the score and saying, was this a good drummer? I'd be comparing him to other drummers. And in that case, yeah. When it says, was this an impressively scored film? I say no, because I think it would be easier to score a film like that than others, because I know how to edit film and I know how you record music.
But
and so based on like what I know, I think it would be easier.
But those are more like technicalities behind like the production aspect.
Yeah, but technicality is part of it. If someone filmed a movie on an iPhone and was like, dude, we filmed it on an iPhone for these reasons and it's artistic and cool, it's like, yeah, but you also didn't have to worry about lighting or like focus. And so it's like, so I'm like, so it's less, so I get the aesthetic, but it's less impressive to me because it technically is easier, in my opinion.
But I still would say
based on what I know.
I would still say that score does exactly what it needs to do and then some.
Sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I made a film on an iPhone and there was a reason for it to be on an iPhone, it told a story, it's better to shoot it on an iPhone. It's still not as impressive as someone who's operating a complicated camera with lighting and focus and all those other functions that go into a bigger camera.
Okay, I agree with you completely.
That's how I feel about it.
It sounds impressive, but it can be better,
it's different
though.
from like the score from like Lord of the Rings with a full orchestra. I completely agree with you there.
And I'll say this too. There's plenty of movies that are shot incredibly well with good soundtracks and like good lighting that are horrible movies, and I hate watching them because they weren't done correctly story-wise and editing-wise, you know? So it's like, I'm just saying as a whole, I look at Birdman, I go, there's a lot of impressive things about it, but there are parts about it that impress me less because I actually think that they would be easier to do, even though stylistically they were the film's brand.
Right.
Yeah, I think...
So Michael Keaton!
All that to say, Bradley Cooper definitely got snubbed.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we can talk about him. I forgot.
We can all agree on that. That was fun, guys.
That's right. Good debates. All right, let's wrap up this episode.
Agreed.
Nick, do you have any plugs?
Let's see. I love Drummond. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, but most of all, Instagram. Because on there, I'm posting updates to all the bands I'm in. I'm currently in 4 bands. One of them is called Modern Suspects. We are opening for My Electric Sin in Denver on March 16th. If you live in Colorado and you listen to this podcast, who are you? Let me meet you. You're crazy, but also come to our show. Oh, excuse me. My Body Sings Electric. That's the name of the band. So it should be a fun show. And then we're trying to play a show in Colorado Springs as well for the same tour. And then I'm playing 2 shows with Basic Coincidence at a few coffee shops throughout March. So I'm basically playing shows all over. And then the other 2 bands I'm recording for. So that should be fun. You can follow me on there on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also,
he's like, I'm going to do the score for Birdman. Like,
I also did the score for Birdman with Antonio Sanchez.
Hey.
Hispanics are cool like that.
We know everyone.
There's no G at the end of I Love Drummond, by the way. So
yes,
that's it.
Okay, Shayne.
Yeah, so you can check out the podcast that I host called the Pop Talk Podcast, and that's on SoundCloud and iTunes. If you want to hear more, I guess, my thoughts on the Oscars and a bunch of really cool music, that's what we'll be talking about on the next episode of the podcast. And then you can follow me on my Instagram at Mr. McCatty, MrMCCAtty. You can follow me there. And then 2, I guess, I will also plug my upcoming shows, as Nick did. If you're in the Virginia area, Hampton Roads area, on March 9th, it's a Saturday, my musical, Hutchins Farm, we will be performing at I believe it's called the 2019 Christian Readers and Authors Festival. It's a festival where a bunch of, like, professional authors, I don't know how I made the cut, but a bunch of professional authors are going to be coming and presenting their works, and there will be a bunch of different workshops for readers and authors, like some like publishing stuff and copywriting things, and it should be a fun time. And we're the opening performers. We're the only performers technically. It's pretty cool myself personally. So I'll be a lot of updates on that coming up, and Instagram, you'll see all that stuff. And small little plug, and within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be starting to write our next musical for this summer. So if Nick, you want to come score my musical, I'll take all of your drums and you can do it all by yourself. And it'll
Just
be pretty impressive. So I'm thinking of doing like a little video series on the process of that. Maybe like I don't know how, I'm working on the details of that, but stay tuned for fun things like that. I'm done.
Woo. Okay.
Nice.
So, thank you for listening to this episode, everyone. You can follow me on Instagram at Luke Roxwold. That's LukeRockswold. Everything that I do is on Instagram. So if you ever want to know what I'm up to, whether it's a movie, a vlog, or a new podcast, follow me on Instagram. That's where to find it. Once again, Luke Roxwold. You can also follow our podcast
Wait, don't forget me.
Instagram at.
Michael,
Oh, I
yeah.
did forget
Yeah,
about
I was
that.
like,
It's all good.
Oh, you're off the
I mean,
podcast.
it's okay. You
so-
can go first, and then like I'll go. Then we can do the podcast. It's fine.
You
It works
know,
out.
I have a rule on this podcast that if you don't
You
like
don't like
Samoas, you don't get to plug. So
Well, whatever.
I mean,
this is
hey,
not a joke. Get
we're all
out.
on the same boat about that, right?
I think we all agree we don't like Mike, right?
Completely
I
forgot.
guess so.
Okay, Mike, do your plugs.
Follow me on Instagram, Michael Demas, MyKolDimas. I don't know if I'm ever gonna actually release any music, so just look at my life. It's fun.
Yeah, Michael, what is going on?
I don't know, man. I don't got time. I'm about to get another job, so I don't have less time. Music is for babies. I'm an adult now.
Music is for
man.
babies.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk
But-
about this later.
Maybe I'll have some stuff out soon. Hopefully I will. But right now, I don't know. No promises. But follow me there to see everything that I do. I'm playing in some local shows every once in a while.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to cut you off, but not that sorry because you don't like Samoas. So
Amen,
you can follow
brother.
our podcast Instagram, WAITSB podcast. That's the acronym for We're All in the Same Boat podcast. That's where everything and I should have said anything and everything. That's where you can message us. So I don't. I heard Nick go oof, oof,
Piff.
oof. All right, well, let's end this episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. Listen to the other episodes. I don't know.
We actually ended this
Outro music.
podcast. Outro music.